turn to 1 Timothy 5. 1 Timothy 5 is really instructing us on how we're supposed to treat each other. But a lot of people misunderstand this verse, okay? And even pastors are misusing this verse. Good pastors, but they've got this one wrong. So go ahead and turn to 1 Timothy 5, starting at verse 1. It says, "Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity." Now, pastors love to stop at 1 Timothy 5:1a, "Rebuke not an elder." Okay, but this verse is not even talking about pastors when you look at it within the context. Now, I'll get to in a minute about how we're to treat pastors, but read 1 Timothy 5 again. 1 Timothy 5:1, "Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity." So we see here the older being contrasted with the younger. We see elder men that are supposed to be treated as fathers and younger men as brethren. We see that elder women we're supposed to treat as mothers and younger women as sisters. So there's a clear contrast that we see within this passage talking about the aged versus the young. And if you think about it, even the word elder women, now we all agree that women are not supposed to be pastors, right? So if we were to be consistent and read elder here as a pastor, we would see in verse 2, it says to treat the elder women as mothers, which wouldn't make sense at all because there are no elder women's if that word actually means pastors. So we see clearly that this is not talking about elders as in pastors, but the elder and the younger we're supposed to treat with respect. Okay, we're supposed to treat our elders with respect as the way that you would a father, and not to harshly rebuke somebody who's older than you in the faith. Okay, so now people do think that the word elder always means pastors or bishop, but that's not the case. Now, sometimes the word elder is synonymous with a bishop. So look at Titus 1, and we'll see where it is used in a way to describe a bishop or a pastor. And that's where a lot of the confusion comes in, because based on the context, it's used in a different light. So Titus 1, verses 5 through 7, Paul says to Titus, "For this cause left I thee in Crete, that thou shouldest set in order the things that are wanting, and ordain elders in every city as I had appointed thee. If any be blameless, the husband of one wife, having faithful children, not accused of riot or unruly, for a bishop must be blameless as the steward of God." So we see the word elder being contrasted with bishop in Titus 1, and we see that within that context, an elder can be a bishop. And so that's how we determine this by using the KJV Bible Dictionary. We see that elder means bishop in Titus 1. Now, as a side point, notice that Christian churches here were already in existence out of necessity prior to Titus traveling to and ordaining bishops within existing congregations. Okay, that's what we see from Titus 1, that Titus actually traveled to other cities and ordained and set things in order with already existing congregations where elders and bishops were already functioning as a matter of necessity. But that's another topic for another day. Now, if you search elder in the Bible, it also simply means one who is older, like I mentioned earlier. So the first time that the word elder appears in the Bible, it refers to Japheth, the eldest son of Noah. Genesis 10, verse 21 says, "Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder, even to him were children born." So the first time a word appears in the Bible, it typically defines the most common usage of that word. The next time elder appears is Genesis 25:23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So again, elder is contrasted with the younger, speaking of Jacob and Esau. So I just wanted to spend a few minutes on this because it's misused a lot, and there are instances where we are supposed to, explain to pastors if they're wrong about something from the Word. And so, when it says rebuke not an elder, that's not what it's talking about. The whole passage is contrasting the aged with the young. Further down in the passage, Paul talks about older widows and younger widows, and then later about younger women marrying. So again, this whole passage is talking about older versus younger, and basically saying that we're to respect our elders. We see this in 1 Peter 5:5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. So we see again that, there's instruction for younger men to be respectful to older men in the faith, and likewise younger women to older women in the faith. And the reason I'm spending time on this is because it really has to do with how, as a church, we rebuke one another or correct one another. This is something, it's a simple truth that has been lost in our modern day culture. I always tell my kids, there's nothing wrong with saying yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. It's a sign of respect for your elders. And I agree that we should also respect good bishops and pastors and not to rebuke them sharply, because the Bible says that they tend to our souls. But 1 Timothy 5 is not talking about that. Look instead at Hebrews 13, verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. So the Bible says that we're to submit ourselves to those who have rule over you, speaking of bishops, elders, because we're tending to your souls, and, it's unprofitable for you to, to rebuke a pastor, harshly. So we're not to do that. So the sentiment of how 1 Timothy 5 is being used is correct. It's just not the right verse for it.